We're still jacking with this rocker box, and we have this little broken off deal here. We're going to try to shock this, see if we can get any movement at all. And so far, the answer is an absolute no. I love it. So let's go ahead and try hitting right here. Okay, we got a little dent in there. That's good. And now we got a little dent. Let's try to hit it off to the side. Just any movement at all would make me incredibly happy right now. Options are to drill this thing out. Options are to shock it and get it to go this way if we can. Oh, hey! Ha! Look at that! Praise God! You caught that reaction on camera, boys. You know what I'm saying? It turned. That puppy turned. We're going to have some joy. It turned. So, of course, our exhaust back pressure sensor is in the way. I'm half tempted to get that out of the way by just pulling the sampling tube out, but the thing turned, which makes me ridiculously happy. So we're going to try to... Tell you what, living right, praise God, all that. Disclaimer, for those of you not believing in God, allow me to share with you. Oh, look at there. Can we get it by hand? Not quite by hand. So close, though. But it's going to come out. Yeah, it's going to come out. For which there is no end of rejoicing. We probably have enough there. We can grab one with the vice grip. This isn't my favorite vice grip, but it'll probably do the job just fine. My favorite ones are the non-needle nose ones for this kind of stuff because they're a little broader. But this will probably work just fine. And of course, my exhaust back pressure sensor is in the way. So, yeah. Yep, it's definitely going to come out. Okay. For as much as I'm dinking with this, it probably would have been easier to take my little sampling tube out of there. But we live in Iowa, and that's rusty crusty. And I'd rather not have to replace my sampling tube if I didn't have to. So I'm dealing with it. That's what I'm choosing to do right now. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now, whoever thought it was a great idea to torque the crap out of this fastener and then leave it snapped off. There we go. Yeah, we don't even need the vice grip anymore. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. There's our bolt. And tell you what, little accomplishments like this, they just make you feel good. And if you let somebody else work on your craft, you never get to have this sensation. So for those of you that never raced on a vehicle before, and you want the feeling of satisfaction knowing you did something, tell you what, Try. You might just surprise yourself. FICMRepair.com for the win. By the way, other alternatives. So we, you can see we did some damage to it a little bit here, but this is aluminum. This is obviously not aluminum. This is steel. So if we had pushed on it, if we had hammered on it too much, we could have mushroomed out the top, would have groovered up the threads on the top. So you got to be careful with that. The other thing that we could have done, we could have taken a small diameter nut, stuck it on top of this, and we could have welded just a little bit of stick weld, just on there, just enough to barely hold, and that would have gotten it out as well. But you want to be careful because you can melt your aluminum, which would not be very, very handy for your aluminium if you're in the UK watching this. But at any rate, yeah, the US and the UK, two countries separated by a common language. But at any rate, yeah, so we could have done that. Or we could have drilled this out, and Milwaukee makes an unbelievably awesome drill bit set. I'll put a link in the description below to the Milwaukee drill bit set that can cut through this stuff like butter. If you're using a titanium coated drill bit, you'll be saying all kinds of choice words that will not make your mom proud. It is not what you want to use. But if you were to drill through there, make it progressively larger drill bits, you can use a center punch, to get it started so your drill bit doesn't walk on you. But then make it progressively larger. And then these appear to be 6mm by 1 threads, and so you could tap it out. But how much easier not to have to dink with that. So those are the options. So you can shock the bolt, try to tap it out that way. You can do that. You can start to drill it out. You can weld a little nut on there if you wanted to do it that way. Or actually, you could start drilling a hole, and if your hole got large enough, kind of tough to do on a 6mm bolt, you could progressively make your drill bits bigger enough that you can get an easy out up inside there, which is like left-hand threaded. So you spin it in, and then in the process of turning it out, it actually grabs the outside of the hole that you just drilled to go ahead and pull it out. So that's the universal ways to get these puppies out of here, and sure beats changing out a rocker box. So hope this helps somebody, and onward and upward. Thanks much.